Okay, we're back. My apologies. I had to take that one. That's hockey pool related for tonight. If I thought it was going to be a quicker call, I would have just stayed on here. Just setting things up for my draft tonight. So just want to make sure everything was a go. We got a bar opening up early for us and things like that. So big draft tonight. Anybody's local in the area, you want to come out? We're doing it down in Brooklyn, north of Whitby, at 3 p.m. Good group of guys. So $22 we could charge. $2 plus $2, or $20 plus $2 for the office pool. So just fun. Snake draft. I don't think anybody's too close. None that far away either. So I'd mention it. That reminds me. I'm just gonna send a quick text. Anyways, I'm going to come back here with, well, I'm not coming back, I'm going to do it right now. I've got 5 burning questions. Five burning questions for the PHL, or the VHL, sorry, wrong league. My 5 burning questions as we go in here. Wow, okay. We've got a trade. I've got a trade that's breaking here. Before I get to 5 burning questions, I got to deal with this trade. We're not going to quite post it yet. It's confirming it. It looks like it's a done deal. And it's a big one. Double check. Sorry. This is involving my team, so I have to stall here a second. This is actually live, yes. Okay, so it's all good. Yeah. Just seeing if I have a pick just to finish this trade off. If not, it may have to go as is. I should know my assets, eh? That's a poor GM that would do that. Wrong button. Prospects. I don't have anything I can give. All right, the trade call is going to be with San Jose. Just confirming I can announce it. Yeah. Waiting for the official word. Too much going on here. This is tough to do. Give these guys credit to use the TV, although they do have multiple guys and they can jump from panel to panel. This is where it would be nice having another host. Timmy, Aaron, Cam aren't doing a whole lot for me. So I've got a trade to announce. I'll put it on the board shortly. But here's how the deal breaks down. First deal of the day. And it is official. Okay, the deal's official. I have dealt Jakob Silfverberg away to San Jose. In return, I am getting Corey Perry at half salary and Tanner Pearson. Move for me makes sense. I knew I was going to, if I was going to make a move, my real target up until this point was Joe Thornton. I was trying to work out a deal with Brian where I would move out something to get some of my lower pieces to make the salary work next year, and I couldn't swing it. The Riley Nash is a good piece I've got. He was a great contract for me this year. He hasn't had as good a season, but he's still only making $1 million for the next 3 years, so I'm not too concerned about him. I know I had 2.6 left in cap, or 2.4 for next year, left over. So if I could have moved him, Nash in that deal would give me 3 and change, but I needed $3.75 million to land Thornton for next year at half salary. So it wasn't quite enough. I could swing it. I knew I was going to have to move out a bigger piece in order to do something like that. And if I was going to do it for Joe Thornton, it makes sense for me to do this deal. Corey Perry is a huge asset for right now. He'll help me out this year. And I'll take a brief look at I don't know what a re-sign would be worth him. Maybe a 1-year deal. I don't know. I don't even know if I could do that right now. I'm not even going to consider it right now. Tanner Pearson, though, is an RFA. And I liked him when I added him in the PHL. He got a great start for me. Was more than a point a game player easily. And he's bouncing back in Vancouver, so I'm going to re-sign him, no doubt. He's the piece I want. To me, I look at it as Silfverberg for Pearson, which looks like a small degrading my team slightly. However, I'm adding Corey Perry for this year's run, so that's a huge scoring lift, and that will likely finish me off unless something else falls in my lap. I'm going to look at my numbers real quick, but I believe that gives me some flexibility. So if I'm getting, let's see, Corey Perry, I'll break it down. Let's mark him off the board. There we go. First move of the day. Corey Perry to Buffalo. And Tanner Pearson to Buffalo. There we go. Both gone. So 1.875 on Pearson this year. Call that 2. Getting Perry at 4.3, 4.4, we'll call that. So 6 and change, moving out 4.75, and I had over 3 in cap space. So I'm still good, no doubt there, and I'm definitely good for next year. I'm sure I can get Pearson in around that same number as Silfverberg, if not less. So happy with that trade. Thanks, Joe, and it makes sense for Joe as well. Saves him going through a re-signing process there. He gets Silfverberg, who's a better player, more goal scoring, and he's locked in at a good rate. I think 4 years at 4.75. He's not on a board, but I'm quite certain that's what I have him as, 4.75 for 4 years. So Jakob Silfverberg, that's a done deal. Just want to confirm that on the board here. I want to have a look. The free agency board quick. Make sure there's no issues before that becomes league official, but that is a breaking trade. And yeah, no, I definitely signed him last year, so I don't have to worry about it. No issues there. So that again, for those that may have missed it, Corey Perry and sorry Tony, you just come on. There's been a trade. It's Buffalo and San Jose. Corey Perry and Tanner Pearson to Buffalo for Jakob Soderberg. That's a real hockey deal, and it gets some value to Joe on his team for that. Silverberg was a great piece. I've had him for years, but it takes something to move something, and I've dealt all the picks I can move. So that's where I was at. I'm happy with that deal. I'm just gonna mark that one onto the board. Maybe Wolf can get that in the sim, and then guys can see better what their cap situations are. I'll update mine here at the next break. I've got a spreadsheet, so that's a good hockey deal. I'm proud of that one. Happy with that one. A bit of a leap of faith, but I really think it helps me this year. San Jose. Corey Perry, 50% salary. It's nice that Joe's got some cap space available to hold guys now. He was in trouble with that for a lot of years. Just finishing out this year for Corey Perry won't hurt him at all. And so he can still hold some more salary yet. Never spell this guy's name right. There, it is posted. All right, so that's up. I did look quickly at the Athletics site. Tony, thanks again for that. Scott Cullen hasn't posted anything yet. Nothing for a breakdown, so I'm still looking for something here to bring with me tonight. I've just been bringing the laptop, I guess. All right, so we got a deal announced. First one of the day. Was he on this board as well? Pearson was. And so is Perry. He was number 5. So 5 and 11 off the board. I'm told Ryan Spooner is also moved at 3. I don't know to where, but I am told he is moved on. So we'll see those. That call should be coming shortly. Back on the live here. 51 contracts. I don't think so. I don't know. If it is, I guess I'll waive somebody. Or buy out a farm player. Tony's just saying I might have 51 contracts, but I'm going to look. This team finance is the quickest way to see. Yes, it was at 50. I guess for this year. I know next year I've got way less. Okay, well that's an easy fix. I'll just include another player here to make that trade official. There. Yeah, I'll put Hunter Smith in that deal then too, just to make that legal. I can waive somebody as well, but I'll just throw it in there and see if that works out for Joe. I don't think it's a problem. He's expiring contract, so he'll fall off the books anyways. Yeah, done. That's a done deal. All right, so we're legal. Yep. So, official trade call. Corey Perry, 50% salary, and Tanner Pearson for Jakob Silverberg and Hunter Smith. That way I am legal for contracts. All good. You're not a buzzkill, Tony. You're just very good at following everything. So we're all good that way. Yeah, Wolf, you still in that Barracuda meeting? Or you around? Okay, so that trade is up. So that's done. All right. So first trade is complete. I'll move on quickly to jump off the big board. Let's have a little fun here. I want to go over my 5 burning questions, which I came up with. Just want to hit on a couple rumors here. There is about 10 teams right now dealing with San Jose. He's got 10 of them going. Close to 10 teams in talks right now with Joe, San Jose Joe. He's probably sitting with a big stogie and hammering through his phone here. So that's good. Team needed to do this selling, and he's off to a good start. Win-win deal there. So we'll look forward to some more there. Well, okay, I keep talking about it. I want to get to some. A lot of info coming in here, sorry. Well, I'll start with question number 1 for my 5 burning questions. It's, to me, the question here is, what will Nashville do? Nashville's a team that I don't think expected to have success this year. Certainly didn't make a push for it. He's just naturally developing into a better team. It's taken some time. Players are developing and stepping forward, but I don't think he was expecting to make a playoff run yet. What will he do? He's 1 point back with 10 games left in the West. Somebody's going to make the playoffs in there. There's about 4 teams right now battling for it. So we'll see today. Nick's got planned. He can go a couple of different ways. He's got a couple pieces there out on the trade block. He has pretty well set himself up for next year as to what he's going to do as far as his roster. So that's one of my questions is let's see what Nashville does today. Will they make a push to try and sneak into the playoffs for the first time in years? Or will they just sit idle? So that's the first question. The second question I'd like to go through is regarding Anaheim. Now, will Anaheim really going to miss the playoffs again? Or not again, but they were there last year. Are they really going to let their team miss the playoffs with Connor McDavid still on entry level? His deal's about to kick in next year at 12.5, and it's going to hinder him cap-wise. His team was, I believe, second in their division last year. Didn't have a overly successful playoffs, but was in the mix all year long. And reflecting very closely to that of the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL, it seems to be going the same way for McDavid. He just can't catch a break. Do we say that there's inadequate GMing going on in both Edmonton and the NHL and Anaheim and in the VHL? I'm not going to say that about Dustin. I'll say a lot of things about him, but I don't think he's inadequate. Could he have been a little bit more aggressive, maybe? Yeah, of course. Everybody can. But I'm also a guy who likes to trade, right? I push for teams to make more moves. I can't stand sitting there doing nothing. So to watch a team like that with McDavid there after the year they had last year, fall short and going to miss the playoffs likely, I think they're 2 points back with 2 teams in the way. So that'll be the team to watch today as well. They've got a couple pieces they can sell, or they hold on as their own rentals. But at this point, they either got to sell them or make a move to push. The third question I've got is how long can Winnipeg see success down there once they add those 2 contracts next year, Crosby and Ovechkin? They're both going to be making $12 million each. So they've got $24 million tied up into 2 players. That's got to crush the depth. They survived the past year, last 2 years now, with them making 8 to 10, I think, closer to the 10 million mark. You're adding another chunk. That's another second line player, goal scoring forward off your roster that you've taken away with the added contracts. So it'll be interesting to see how that team does moving next year. Again, for next year, my fourth question is, Tony says that Dustin is only inadequate sexually, and Wolf agrees. I think the 3 of them hang out a lot at Barracuda, so they would know more about that than I would. Wolf's there right now, I think. So, just waiting for him to finish up his shift, so maybe he's around. So yeah, again, a team like Dallas and Calgary, both teams full rebuild, developing. Can they actually make a playoff push next year? You look at a team like LA, who went full rebuild, but they did quickly, in and out of the playoffs, and right back in here, like maybe 2 years later, sold off everything, been aggressive to put themselves back in a position, and they're right in the mix as a contender in the West. Dallas, Calgary doing much slower, much more deliberate, a lot more just growth of their players. But are those entry-level contracts going to bury them when they all expire around the same time? How small is their window going to be? It's going to kick in all relatively close together. They're going to have a 1-2 year window, I think, where they can make a legitimate push before those contracts hammer them. Or will you see a move today? I have heard rumors that Dallas would make a move and sell off some of those pieces to get some established talent. So are they ready to take that next step? Joe's a smart GM, so I could fully see him using those assets to achieve bigger pieces instead of just letting it all grow at once. And same for Will. They're both in very similar situations. So I look for those 2 teams to be involved, especially this offseason. Maybe they're aggressive in free agency and adding to what they've got. Probably high-value, short-term deals because, again, they don't want those entry levels kicking in while they still got big money on the books. So those 2 teams interest me a lot. I want to see what happens with them moving to next year. My 5th burning question is, I forgot to write it down, some discussion on it last year, refers to Tampa Bay, Tony, and this question is, will Tony create 10 prospects by the time the playoffs start? We all know he likes to actively work the prospects and farm roster, takes full value of his 50 contracts, and he's good at manipulating and changing that list constantly. So, will we see him hit 10 more before the playoffs start? He's definitely the most active in regards to that, so that one's more just a bit of a fun joke, a little shot at him. It's just because you do your job well, Tony, so no real offense. It's good to make Wolf work once in a while. That's my 5 burning questions for the VHL. Feel free to comment on those. If you want to discuss it live, you're welcome to do that as well. Let's see. I think I have some things going on here. Got to check back to the VHL site. Oh, we got more rumors. Kronwall, Eller, Zajac on the move. Zajac was not a guy I had on the list. Let's see here. take a quick look at. Let's take a look at the further in depth of the San Jose roster. Seeing as he's on and active right now with teams, let's have a better look at their roster. Corey Perry, he's done. He's already out. He's a now Buffalo Sabre. Cronwall making $3.15 on a 1-year deal. So he's an expiring UFA. Excellent piece to add. Tanner Pearson, RFA, now in Buffalo. Lars Eller, 1 year left at 1.5. That's a simple contract for somebody to grab. Even hold the $500K. Get him for $1 million. That's a really nice piece to add. Zajac. Look at Zajac. Oh, 2 years at 2.7. That's a hell of a deal, actually. That is a really movable contract, really movable piece. Somebody could do really well to land him. Move on with him next year. That's worth giving up assets for. So it's good to see that team in the mix as far as doing some moves. Give Joe credit. He flipped this roster a few times there over the last few years, and realizing when it's time to cut bait. That's an important thing to being a GM. So Zajac's currently rated 79. He's got a 90 face-off, 95 defense, and 74 scoring. Has some key stats there. 81 checking, 80 skating. So that's a really good piece to add. Cronwall, he's still rated an 80, 90 defense. That's his key stats. Lars Eller, I wanted to look up. He's a 77 overall, but 86 defense and 78 scoring. He's experienced, he's durable. Skating's an 82, and his checking's an 84. So that's a really nice piece for somebody to add with cap space. Some teams may want to have a look at that. Let's look at a couple more. I wanted to check out Calgary again once again there. Flip back over, stay in the West there, and Calgary. Yeah, Spooner, who we were told is dealt, we just don't know where. He's a 76 overall, and he's 70s in every category. But he's a 90 checker and an 82 in skating, so he's definitely going to help wherever he's gone to. Tobias Ryder, that's another one I suggested he may move. 74 overall, but an 82 on the defense. Chips in with 72 on scoring. 86 in his checking and 86 in his skating, so he's quick. Adds a little bit of face-off depth to the 71, so he's useful there. And I'm sure he's very cheap to get. So have a look there. Goaltending depth. I wanted to jump to St. Louis. Ben Bishop again. He could be a candidate for Vezina this year in the NHL. Currently rated an 87 in our league. 3 years at $7 million. Be a great ad. Other ones on that team. If his team is going rebuild, and if he's moving Bishop, he is. Another nice piece there somebody could look to add would be Marc-Edouard Vlasic. He's everybody knows how good he is. 88 overall, massive defense rating, and his contract. He's 5.5 for 2 years, so he's in an ideal position to move him as well as he's still carrying 1 year. It's not a long-term contract for anybody to carry, but he's got that one. I think I have a trade call coming in. Yeah, Wolf doesn't do any work, does he, Tony? Alright, so that's 3 teams I quickly highlighted there. St. Louis, Calgary, and San Jose. We'll look at a couple more here. 100%. Alright. I have a trade to announce. I got to look it up. It's involving Winnipeg and San Jose. I need to find out what picks Winnipeg has, so I can make this call. Okay, I got it. 2021. Confirming whether salary is held in the deal or not. So it's Nick Kronwall is going to be going to Winnipeg. The return's going to be a second round pick. We're confirming that what it is. Breaking trade. That's all right. There is no salary being retained. Yeah. So the official call then is a 2021 second round pick from Winnipeg to San Jose for Nicholas Kronwall. No salary retained by San Jose. That's a nice deal for him. I like that. Actually, it's good for both of them. Message there regarding Thornton just come back in, but I think it's too late. I can't make anything work there now. Somebody's just noting there that maybe I shouldn't have posted the actual trade until later. That's probably a good idea. So I did post mine. So I won't post this last one, but we've got San Jose, Winnipeg, and it's 2021 second for, who did I say that was? Kronwall. Too much messages coming in. So, Nicholas Kronwall, welcome to Winnipeg. 3.1 and change for Winnipeg. That's a good deal. Use up some of his extra cap he's got currently. Let's have a quick look at his finances. He's got, he's got lots of room for this year. He was well under 5 million under, so he's still got a couple million left to play with. Joe moves on from Kronwall for a second round pick. That's a good value for a last minute deal on that. So the rest of the deals I will post then after the 2 p.m. deadline. Might be closer to 3, but we'll see. So that's another breaking trade. All right, good. We got 2 now. Just gonna let Joe know what I'm doing here. All right, good. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So just hold off on the Sim Eric until I get everything up. It'll be 2 o'clock or just after. Like I said, I got to travel for this hockey draft, but I'll do that. Do that and maybe have to fire them up around 3. So they may actually go on the board a bit after that, which is fine. But we'll just strictly announce them on here for now. So we've got a breaking trade there. Might have more here. It was a pretty high budget, I'm not going to lie. Wolf's asking what my budget was for the studio. It was up there, eh? This Boston stuff doesn't come cheap, you know, so. And then, you know, whiteboards are expensive, so. Now the kids can't use them today. Of course, they're at school, so that doesn't matter. But, still getting messages here, so there's definitely action going on, which is good. Go through this whiteboard one more time. Just give you guys some names, ideas they'd want. What did I do? There we go. Okay, so Minnesota, I'm hearing absolutely nothing there. So at this point, I'd like to almost take Panarin, not going to happen. Kopitar's not going to happen. Mark Giordano. Suddenly Edmonton's gone quiet. I'm not certain why. We are down to... We got 2 hours and 42 minutes until the deadline. So I still really thought Giordano was going to get done today. So we'll see. I'm going to leave him up there. Evgeny Kuznetsov. That's a 5-year contract, 8.5. He definitely is looking to shop him, but I'm not sure that that's going to be a deadline deal. I would say Kuznetsov more likely to be an off-season move. Brendan Gallagher from Vegas. That one could still surprise people. I didn't put him in my most likely to be traded, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was. 4 years at $6 million. I could still see him being moved. Ben Bishop, St. Louis. I still think that deal is going to get done. Wayne Simmons out of Philly. I'm not hearing anything out of Philadelphia right now. If he was going to make a move, it's going to be more of the free agents at this point. Two and a half or so to go. So I'd say Wayne Simmons isn't going anywhere. Keith Yandle. A lot of talk about Yandle. Whether somebody will step up and pay it, I don't know. 2 years, $6.5 million. Sounds like a lot of money, but the guy has had a huge NHL year. He's rated well for this year. So your contract that's left is going to be just the remainder of this season and next year, which is coming off a really nice re-rate. So there's value in him. I like him as a guy that could be moved. Ryan Kessler, Minnesota again. If he's going to keep the other two, he's probably going to keep Kessler. Had this deal for Perry not happened, I think I would have took a run at him. Henrik Sedin, he's going to be moved. I really think so. It makes no sense for him to keep him. I'm hearing a big trade coming in, so we're waiting on that one. That's good. Look forward to hearing that call. I'll just check my messages quickly. Not yet, but it's on its way. So there is another big trade coming in. That's good to hear. Henrik Sedin, I still think is going to get done. I would run at him for $3 million. You're going to get him at half salary, and at Edmonton. So that one's going to happen. It's just a matter of where. Tyler Johnson. Wonder if there's a deal that could be made amongst the two of them. Maybe a Yandle and Johnson combined deal or something into that like. Alec Martinez at Philly. It's a mistake if he doesn't move him. Charlie Coyle at Toronto. That could be an off-season move. I think Toronto's holding firm right now. I don't think they're going to do a lot, especially with term there. You're running out of time for these term deals. Joe Thornton. I actually got a message from Brian regarding him. We could have worked on something there, but this other deal landed before Brian got back to me. So I'm moving on from Joe Thornton, but somebody else will be on. Just regarding the previous trade. So yeah, Thornton, I don't know. I think the biggest reason I thought he was going to move was because I was strongly interested. I would have loved to have Joe Thornton come and land and finish his career in Buffalo for the next couple of years. He might play beyond next year as well. He's a guy I would have liked to try and sneak to hold on to. Same way I would have liked to have Chara finish his career with me, and I guess I'll get another shot at that next year with him playing one more year in the NHL. So Thornton, I think the dream's gone on him. Brian seems like he's busy at work, he says, so I can't see a deal like that coming together. Jordan Eberle, I had him on the list as a guy I really think is going to go. I'm not hearing anything out of Aaron or Ottawa. I'm saying it's a very low chance that he's going to go. Nick Kronwall, he is now moved. Take him off the board. He's gone to Winnipeg. See that talent? That's something Wolf couldn't do. Wrote upside down. David Perron, Anaheim. If he doesn't move, that's a mistake. That deal has to get done. Andrew Cogliano, Edmonton. That would be a really nice one to move to. I'm not going to take him off yet. Colin Wilson at Ottawa. That deal has to get done. He's on UFA. Lars Eller, there's no reason that nobody's going to take a shot at San Jose for him. Zach Bogosian at Ottawa, another UFA. That's another one that has to be done. Matt Martin at a Philly. A team could walk in and get Alec Martinez and Matt Martin for probably a couple of picks, or maybe even a second and a third, and get that deal done. That would be a great addition to a playoff-bound team. Joel Ward should get traded. Keith Kincaid, the lesser chance, and Ryan Spooner, we've been told, has been dealt. We just, again, do not have that information. So it looks like I'm up to 4 deals. 2 are official, and I have at least 2 more that are, there we go. I have a trade call. Okay, so we've got a trade involving Arizona and Montreal. Arizona and Montreal. Let's see which way this one swings. Now, both Arizona's sitting in, I think, 7th. I think they're the first wild card in the West. Montreal sitting in 9th, 10th in the East, a few points out. I would predict more of an Arizona ad. I think Montreal's going to sell. But let's see what comes in. So, it is... I don't know what I think of this. So it's Alexei Emelin leaving Montreal. 100K being retained, which is very minor. Must be right up against the cap or something, or he has something else in the works. And Montreal's getting Brock McGinn back. I don't honestly know much about him. Message. So Brock McGinn, let's have a quick peek at him. Brock McGinn. Oh, Carolina. 94 birth, so what are we talking? He's 25. 10 goals, 26 points in 82 games. Played all 82 games, so I would guess he's a 3rd or 4th line player. And Alexei Emelin, I lost track of him since he went to Buffalo, so... Alexei Emelin. See where he is now. Oh, he's overseas, that's why. So it's strictly Arizona adding a depth defenseman using a depth forward. That's a good deal. Good deal for both. Arizona shores up that defense core, and Montreal adds a piece they can use next couple of years moving forward. So, well done, Rick. Great job. I like that move for you, and it doesn't hurt Anaheim at all either. Or sorry, not Anaheim, Arizona. Cap-wise, I just want to look at what the numbers are. Arizona. Okay, so for Adam, he's moving out. McGinn makes $925, and he's an RFA. So that's probably a big part of that deal as well. He's not unsure what he can probably re-sign him for, given the market. That's probably a $2 to $3 million deal for McGinn. I know he got some pieces next year he wants to bring up from his farm, so he's been clearing cap space for that, just so he sets himself up next year. So I think that's more of an addition by subtraction for him, not wanting to spend the money there. And then Montreal moving Emelin. He was making $2 million for the next 3 years, and that's going to fall off the books. That sounds like a buyout candidate to me. So we'll see. But the rating will help out Adam this year. So we'll see how that deal folds out for them. Nice job, guys. Back here and peek. Anything else? Monster trade, indeed. Yeah, okay. So Adam says that's exactly what he was doing there. It's more about his contract situation. But good deal. Tony, you want to recap? Sure. We had a big trade between Arizona and Montreal. Recap that one. Alexei Emelin with $100,000 was retained by Montreal. Moved to Arizona for Brock McGinn, fourth line player for Carolina in the NHL. So Brock McGinn for Alexei Emelin. Adam clearing up some contract space, not having the ability to re-sign him next year. There was another trade, if you missed that one as well. It was San Jose and Winnipeg. San Jose moving Kronwall with no salary retained to Winnipeg for a second-round pick in 2021. So recap of a couple of the deals sitting on my sheet here. Nothing more going to be posted. I shouldn't have posted my deal, I guess, earlier. Adam made a comment there, and he's correct. I should have held off, but I just got too excited. Yeah, Brock McGinn's a good piece. That'll help Montreal. That's a nice deal. That's a win-win. It's good when guys can put together a deal like that, forward for defense, and clears up contract area space. Gives Rick an opportunity to move forward with them. So, yeah, I like that one. Good job. We ran through the big board again. We took guys off the list. Temi Panarin. Oh, yeah. Hang on. We're going to bring somebody on here. Looks of it. Let's have a look if I can make this happen. Bring on our first guest of the day. I think you have to turn your camera on, Tony. Or ask to come on. And then if Adam, you want to come on after, you can go over your deal. Up to you. Tony's got to go to bed, so see if I can get him on here. That's Wolf. Yeah, you got to change the setting, Tony. If you can ask to come on or change whatever setting you need to, Tony, I'll bring you on. I don't know. It shows me I can add Adam. I don't know why you can't be added. Oh, there, I can now. All right. You are coming in. Oh. Says no answer. Try asking again. The others, it shows a camera with you, so. Like I can see mine. I could add me right now. I can add Adam. Oh, there we go. Says it's adding, so. Says it's adding.
I'm adding you this time. See if that works.
Hey, there we go.
We made it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
How's it going?
How's it going? You there?
I am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Tony?
I'm quite well, thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, so how are things?
Pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah,
Plugging away here.
Yep, love the board. The board is awesome.
I took a shot, eh? Figured I'd add something. I need something to talk about.
Oh yeah, I mean like the physical studio. The production value is excellent.
Yeah. Wolf didn't think so.
Ah, screw him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He has no
I
taste.
agree. Yeah. Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah. Want to hit me with the 5 burning questions?
Yeah. Did you not hear them?
I did, but I kind of want to go through them with you if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Let's do that. So, Nashville. What do you think they're going to do?
They have a good core. They can go either way. If they want to buy, they can buy, but I suspect and I would expect they stay pat.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a really good core.
Yeah, they do. I think they're going to be a team to reckon with next year.
I mean, they have Monahan's a legit #1 center. Morgan Riley's a Norris candidate. Goaltending, it's a little iffy, but they've got some really nice pieces up front too. Jared McCann, Henrik Borgstrom is legit. I tried to get Henrik Borgstrom off him last year at the draft. No dice.
Yeah.
So he's got lots going on right there, and he's got his draft picks. He's got Nick Hague on the back end on his prospect list. He's 6'6". He's a huge guy. Scores goals. In net, he's got Joseph Woll in net. For the future. I'm looking at his prospect list. He's got 2 really good goalies actually, Woll and Scott, on his prospect list, and he's got Nicholas Bodine too. He's been excellent in the queue this year. So yeah, he's got a really bright future ahead. If I were him, I'd just sit back and relax, and continue to build depth.
Yeah, he's a smart GM. So.
Yep. So what's number 2?
Number 2, Anaheim. They're going to really let that team miss the playoffs with McDavid.
It happens. It happens. It's not his fault.
You don't think?
It's not his fault.
You don't think so?
No, it's not his fault. Like he's clearly tried to surround pieces around McDavid. It's not like McDavid and plugs. He's got Kuznetsov is a legit number 1, legit number 1B guy. He's got a cup. He makes plays. Keeps possession. Makes zone exits. Kuznetsov is a very good player. Like he'd be a number 1 center on most teams. Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to be a number 1 center for the next 10 years. So he's solid down the middle. I would not have made the Reinhardt for Zucker trade, but that's a swing and a miss. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
On the back end, he's got Strawman, Edmondson. He traded Mike Green. Like he had some offense on the back end. I'd say he needs another puck-moving defenseman, but that's just my opinion. And Talbot isn't working out, but Saros is clearly the number 1. He's going to inherit the role from Pekka Rinne either next year or 2 years. So there's nothing wrong with that team. So he'll be good in the future.
I love Saros.
Yeah. So
I love Saros.
Okay. Oh, you lost me?
No, I love Saros. I love Saros.
Yes, Saros is a good player. Saros is a great goalie. Needs to fill out some depth, guys, but he's got Caleb Jones. Oh, he's gonna be a real good player.
Yeah.
Who else has he got? Pascal Laberge was hurt for a while. He's coming back. He might be a good one. Stuart Skinner's a pretty decent goalie prospect. Oh, he's got William Borgen and Tyler Madden. Those guys would be, regular NHLers soon.
Yep.
So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that team. He's got. If you have Connor McDavid, Evgeny Kuznetsov, and Pierre-Luc Dubois down the middle, you should be fine. for the next 10 years down the middle. And you build down the middle.
Well, I just would have liked to see him maybe try and do something through the season to shake it up. But yeah, I think maybe he's better to wait. Eh?
Yeah, and maybe wait for the offseason, see what shakes loose. Maybe there's a scoring winger somewhere. Just get another puck-moving defenseman. You know, all is not lost.
Well, I got a trade to announce.
Oh, okay.
Here's the trade. We've got Ryan Spooner, was suggested to be dealt earlier. That is official. He's going to, any guesses?
Arizona.
That's right.
Yeah, I talked to Will like
Arizona?
a couple hours ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's going to Arizona, and as I suspected, it had to do with that $100K that he retained on that Emlyn deal.
Yep, probably something along those lines.
Yeah, so he got a third-round pick in 2020 for Ryan Spooner.
All right. What was burning question number 3?
Burning question number 3. How long is Winnipeg going to be able to see success with those 2 new deals signed?
Whenever those guys retire, which is Crosby 31, Ovechkin is 32, they will be very productive until, I suspect, age 35, 36. Ovechkin is going to stick around because he wants to chase the goal-scoring record. He's going to put 40 for the next 2 years, 30 maybe for the next 3. So I would say there's about 180 to 220 goals left into Alex Ovechkin. So,
yeah,
like, he's going to get goals, and Sidney Crosby is going to put up 90 points for another 5 years. So those contracts will not be a problem. On a side note, those contracts priced me out of keeping Evgeny Malkin, but that's a choice I've made. So he's made his bed with those guys, and I don't think he's going to regret it.
No. But what about his depth? That's tough to keep with that much money.
Cam Atkinson is a 40-goal scorer. He's tied down, so that's not a problem. Bo Horvat is tied down, so that's not a problem. Bo Horvat, does sort of everything. He's Ryan O'Reilly light, and he's going to be very good very soon. I've watched him since he's played for the Canucks in 2013, 2014, so he's going to be very good. So he's got 4 nice guys up front, but he's got Patrick Hornqvist. That one's a little iffy because with his play style, I don't know how long he can stay productive for.
Yeah.
But he's going to continue to play with Crosby, and I don't think that contract will go bad anytime soon. Maybe the last couple of years. He needs, the problem with his team's depth is not actually in terms of cap. It's just that the cupboard isn't as full as I would like it to be if I were in his position.
Right.
Maybe draft a few guys, hit on a couple of draft picks, get some ELCs in there, freshen up the deck kind of.
I always question his defense, but it did enough last year. So
I do like the Cromwell trade. Very much.
Yeah.
But it should place him comfortably to win his division. He's winning the division now. That trade should clinch the division for him, and I expect to see him in the 3rd round of the playoffs. And it should be there should be a very good matchup with him and the winner of the Vancouver LA series.
That's going to be a good one.
The Vancouver LA series is kind of the Tampa versus Boston or Toronto NHL equivalent, where the 2 best teams meet in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
So with regard to Winnipeg, he's got a number 1 goaltender in his prime. His defense is iffy, but it'll get by. He has Marcus Pettersson on his farm too. That's very nice. He's going to be very good for a few years at least. I mean, he's going to be very good for the next 5 to 10 years. He looks like a middle, solid 2nd pairing guy. Maybe a little more offensive upside there. And he's got 4 big guns up front. So he'll be fine. As long as he can find some sleepers late in the draft or something like that. He needs a few ELCs to, freshen up his deck. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ELCs, Dallas, Calgary. how soon before they make a push, and how small is their window going to be?
Calgary is going to have a long window. Once Calgary gets a number one goaltender, like I've spoken to Will about this, he's one goaltender away from being a legit contender next year. Because up front, he's got Marner, Pettersson, Besser. So that's one of the best top lines in the league right now. He's got some very nice, depth pieces too. Tierney, Coleman, Vrana. Those guys put up 40 to 50 points a year. Bobby Ryan is a nice complementary piece. It is what it is. So, and Tyler Bertuzzi is going to break out next year. He's going to have another 50 points, 55 points. So he's very good up front. On the back end, he's just Rasmus Dahlin. So there's not much to talk about there. He's got Dahlin, Slavin, and Sergachev. So, all under 25, under long-term control, very good defenseman, puts up offensive and defensive numbers. So he needs a goaltender. That's all he needs. He's a goaltender. And maybe a couple of late-round draft picks to hit on. Oh, he's got another top 3 pick this year. So if he can add like a couple Kakko, Jack Hughes, maybe a Bowen Byram to his back end, he'll be good. Like, he's going to be a contender for a long time. And with regards to Dallas, like, the depth is just amazing. Matthews, Rantanen are, they're top tier franchise players. Konechny, Meyer, very good. They're going to be very good for a long time. That Evgeny Dadonov contract is a huge steal. $3.5 million for a 70-point guy is amazing.
Yeah. The
Alex Radulov contract is also working out very well. The Shipachyov thing is a bust, but that's a short-term thing.
Yeah.
But I do think Joe should be a little more aggressive next year, because next year is the last year of the Austin Matthews ELC. So a little cap, and he has some room to manipulate there. He does need a goaltender though, but I expect he can trade for one because he has tons of pieces. He has 3 or 4 more lottery picks this year. If he can add another Jack Hughes or something like that, I'm just glad all those guys are in the West. They're not in my conference.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, they're not here. That's good. So because I don't want them anywhere near my team.
Can a Ben Bishop go to a Dallas?
Yes and no. It depends on what Dallas is going to give. Like, Dallas has a lot to trade with. He's built a lot of trade chips. But the thing I've noticed this is if a team is rich in assets, the other team will want more in return in comparison to when a team doesn't have as many high quality assets. The team trading the now player won't ask for as much. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Well, I'm one of those teams that doesn't have the assets.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of deals done. So you might be right.
So I think it'll depend on what St. Louis will want from Dallas's end. For me, if I was giving up a cost-controlled number 1 goaltender who does have a little bit of injury history, I would ask for a roster player, a prospect, and a draft pick. I feel like that's fair return for a legit number 1 goaltender with a few injury question marks. And St. Louis does need depth sort of everywhere, in my opinion.
Yes. They're falling into the Edmonton category.
Which Edmonton?
The VHL Edmonton, Lewis's team.
Yeah. He's got some nice pieces.
Held on too long.
Yeah, I would say so. But
yeah.
All right. And the last question was with regards to my prospects, right?
Yeah, you're good at the prospect list.
I keep an eye on it. I keep an eye on it. Once in a while you hit somebody. Like, you hit 1 in 10 guys, because the reality is late round draft picks and I target guys with good numbers, right? So the sort of late round prospects I target are all guys who've produced at their level, but they were late round prospects. They're a little older, more question marks around them. The likelihood of one of them becoming an NHL player is around 10 to 20% at best. So for every 5 moves you make, you might get 1 NHL player.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just sort of the way it goes.
I use the college route as my my draft.
Yes, the NCAA has produced a lot of talent the past few years, and good example is Torrey Krug. We made that deal a couple of years ago, worked out for both of us.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He's very good for what he is. He's not a perfect player, but he gets the job done, and he does way more good than bad, in my opinion. Because you read on the internet, like a lot of Bruins fans don't really like Torrey Krug for some reason. Well, okay, I know why they don't like Torrey Krug, because he's not Zdeno Chara.
Yeah.
But he's not there to be Zdeno Chara. He's there to run the power play. He's there to get the puck. He's there to get the puck to Pastrnak, to Marchand, to Bergeron, to Krejci. And, he makes those passes, skates the puck out of the zone. And he's just small. Like, that's the only problem with him. If he was 6'2", he'd probably be a Norris Trophy winner.
Oh, he's so good at the power play.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes things happen. Oh, okay.
This is a big one.
Oh, all right.
We've got Sedin is finally gone.
All right.
Any thoughts where he might go?
Vancouver.
No. I think they're done. They're at a cap. It's
All right.
Carolina.
Oh, okay.
It's a big deal. Sedin is going along with Ryan Hartman and Derek Englund. $3 million retained on Sedin. In return, Edmonton is getting Victor Rask, Dennis Malgin, David Kampf, and Ryan Kuffner.
Wow. Wolf just okay. I initial thought would be I would think Wolf has won this trade. That's my initial thought. I have to look into it further, but I know Victor Rask is a declining asset. So for Edmonton to recoup anything out of this, Victor Rask has to turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got to turn. Like he had 2 goals in the last 20 games or something. Like that trade in real life for Nino Niederreiter looks really bad for the Minnesota right now. So if Edmonton wants that trade to be in his favor, he has to get Victor Rask going. David Kampf is nice. David Kampf is a nice player. Bottom 6 guy, big body. He'll be around for a while, but Ryan Hartman is also a big body. He's going to be around for a while. Henrik Sedin.
I like Hartman.
I do too. So what else? Oh, you got Derek Englund too, right?
Yeah.
So Derek Englund is going to, solidify Wolf's bottom pairing, and so that's a real good trade for Wolf. Some of the assets I would have targeted on his end. Oh, Dennis Malgin's very good. I think Dennis Malgin's very good. He's a new NHL player. He's small, but he's fast. He's shifty. He can play the puck. He's got some skill. But if I was, say, Edmonton, there were some other guys I would have looked at. I don't know if Wolf was going to give him up, though. I would probably looked at, what's his face? I would have looked at Lucas Wallmark. I think he's going to be around for a while. The other Sebastian Aho I would have looked at. And on his prospect list, I would have looked into Grant Mismatch and Jake Leschyshyn. Those guys I would have looked into, but Wolf has most of his draft picks from 2022, so I maybe would have looked into a draft pick there.
Yeah.
So that's a good trade for Wolf, and I would say that's a decent trade for Edmonton, but he has to get Victor Rask turned around.
Yeah. Which he may. Sedin was going to be nothing to him this year. it's Hartman in England, and really is all he's moving. England's a good contract, actually.
Yes.
2 years at 1.5.
Yes. But
Hartman, I never wanted to move Hartman. I like him.
yes, but Eric Stahl is well worth the price of admission, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was pleased with that deal too.
I'm looking at Edmonton, and I'm seeing a distinct lack of draft picks, which I think might be, it's a different route for him maybe with the rebuild. Some teams like, prospects because they've been drafted, they're further along. They know there's less perceived risk because they've seen them develop for 1 more year, 2 more year. They're closer to the NHL. But for me, draft picks are nice because, to me, they have higher upside. Because prospects with high upside, you don't get them in trades, right? Like, you got Ryan Donato. You're not coughing up Ryan Donato.
Am I confident in him?
No, you're not coughing up Ryan Donato because he's a high-end prospect. Once a prospect proves himself to be a higher-end guy, he's got some production in the league, teams aren't going to cough him up, right? You're not trading Ryan Donato. It's not happening. No. Yeah. So if I was Edmonton, or if I've rebuilt for the last 5 or 6 years. So it's okay to get a prospect back in a trade, but you should get a draft pick. And hopefully you hit on somebody.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to him. Like he's been around for.
Yeah.
Has Edmonton won a cup before? Let me just check.
No cup.
Okay. Well, I haven't won either, so so we're even there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the trade San Jose have made. So he's made 2 deals, right? He's dealt Kronwall, Perry, and Pearson.
Yes.
Okay. I actually dealt him Tanner Pearson. That was, I felt, unfortunate on his part because he made the playoffs last year. Thought if he could get, a middle 6 guy like Tanner Pearson, I got a first round pick from, way down the road. Like way, way, way down the road. Like the earth might not even exist back then. But so I felt that was a good ad for him, but this year has not worked out for him for some bizarre reason. Because his roster on paper is not that awful, in my opinion. Like he's got some nice guys. I'm a big fan of Kevin Hayes. Analytic. He's got very good possession numbers. Creates lots of scoring chances. Chris Kreider is a big power forward. Puts the puck in the net. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah. Mike. Yeah, I think most of his bad contracts have gone.
Yeah, he's only got good contracts left. He's got Matthew Perreault. He's a solid third liner. That's not a terrible contract. Martin Hanzel's a bust, but that's off the books soon. Brandon Dubinsky is not a $7 million player, but there's nobody he really needs to re-sign, so that's not going to tie him down for too long. Let's see. Brent Seabrook should be traded. Like, he should be looking to trade Brent Seabrook. A contender could use a Brent Seabrook, but not at $6.5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. We have not talked about Pittsburgh all day, have we?
I was going to mention them, yeah. Why are they in the playoffs and Montreal isn't? Or yeah, that was one of the questions that come up to me.
Well, I've lost to them like twice this year. My team looks a little better on paper, in my opinion, but his team is playing very well. Maybe some... I don't know how the sim works. I just don't. But if you figure out why his team is playing the way it is, just winning left and right and center, I would love to know. Because I don't. Okay, Jack Eichel is a legit superstar, but I'm not sure how Jack Eichel is carrying that team to home ice advantage in the playoffs, in the first round.
It's perplexing.
Yes. He does have a lottery pick. That's not his. His prospect pool is obviously very deep. It's top 3 in the league because he traded all his star players for prospects. So he's got some really good guys coming soon. Svechnikov. Let's see who he's got. He's got Cale Makar. He's going to be a star. Cholowski's going to be very good. Jesse Alonen is going to be very good. Juuso Valimaki is going to be very good. Robert Thomas is very good. Oh, Trent Frederick. Did you like him for Boston this year? I thought he was all right.
Yeah, I do, actually. Yeah.
Middle six guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be ideally, he could be a Charlie Coyle.
Okay. Are the Bruins bringing back Coyle? Like, he's tied down, right? In the NHL?
Yeah, he's got one more year.
Okay. I'm not sure if I would have, but Ryan Donato just has much higher upside in my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't think he was ever going to get a chance at the top 6 in time before he had to get paid. I don't know. I like the Coyle move, and I think you'll see it more in the playoffs.
Was Ted Donato a Bruin?
Yes.
Okay, so they traded a son of alumni, but Ryan Donato is going to be very good in my opinion. Like, he's putting up numbers. He's a very good shot. Like, his release is very good.
Yes.
So if he can get one step quicker this offseason, he's going to score 25 goals next year for the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
So did you really think the Bruins needed Charlie Coyle this badly?
I like the move. I really do, because Donato was not going to get in the lineup.
All right.
He had no chance to get in the lineup.
David Backes looks a little slow, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's changed his role, eh?
He's not as quick as he used to be.
No, he's playing more of a tough guy, a grinder. He's playing 4th-line minutes now. It's actually a good spot to have him.
I do like Chris Wagner. I think Chris Wagner's been very good for the Bruins.
Won the 7th Player Award.
I'm not sure what that is.
If you're familiar with.
I'm not familiar with that.
It's an award that they give out to a guy who's overachieved or done better than expected. They've had Marchand won it in the past. Lucic won it in the past. Cam Neely won the award. Sometimes it's a grinder.
Okay.
But yeah, he put up, he's 13 goals now as a 4th-line player?
Yeah, and some of those goals weren't like, they all count the same, but some of those goals, there was a little skill involved, I would say. Yeah, so I thought Chris Wagner was very good for the Bruins.
He's been playing in the overtime, 3-on-3.
Oh, yeah. Do you think Brad Marchand will be suspended in the playoffs this year?
No. There was many chances this year he could have put himself in that position, and he's smartened himself up.
Do you think this was on his own, or somebody made a phone call?
I think he's just spending enough time with Bergeron. He's just learning, I think, maturing. I think it's a natural progression. I'm sure there was somebody to him. I'm sure Chara talked to him. I'm sure Bergeron. I'm sure Backes have all talked to him.
Cam Neely probably took him aside.
Yeah. And I think he's seeing now that he can be an elite player in this league without the bullshit.
Because Brad Marchand rubs you the wrong way in a billion methods, but he's a skill player. And, the skill is, I'm never going to deny Brad Marchand's skill, but some of the nonsense is just very off-putting, in my opinion.
You think so, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love him.
Yes, he's a 100-point player. I'm just gonna end the conversation here. In my opinion, he's MVP. He's a Hart caliber player.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, who do you have for the Hart? Just wondering.
Oh, it's definitely Kucherov.
All right. I've got Kucherov number 1, McKinnon number 2 because his team made the playoffs, and number 3 I'm looking at either Sid or Gaudreau.
Yeah. Marchand's in the mix. Bergeron's in the mix.
4 and 5, I would probably pick non-playoff teams, and I would pick Kane and McDavid. Because
Kane's had a good year.
Yeah, he almost dragged that team to the playoffs. So I think Patrick Kane should get some MVP votes from somebody.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We'll just put out a Spooner traded message if anyone interests you. All right. How much time is there left? A couple hours, right?
Yeah, a couple hours. Yeah, that's yeah. He's just saying too about that Coyle deal. Is yeah, we didn't have a third line center. It was Krejci and Bergeron, and that's why Coyle's there.
All right.
He was an ideal. I really like that move, and I was really happy with the Johansson move too. He looked really good before he got hurt there. I know that's his trouble, but if he can stay healthy, he looked really good with Krejci the first time, that first couple weeks they were together.
Oh, who was this? I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Marcus Johansson.
Oh yeah. Marcus, he's got some skill. He can make plays.
I like that.
And didn't cost that much, right?
Happy. No. Yeah,
Yep.
So I was quite happy with the way it all went.
I would probably have made the Marcus Johansson deal, but I might have not made the Charlie Coyle deal because I think Ryan Donato has a long future in this league. That's just me.
Yeah.
So
I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I don't agree. He's been playing top line minutes in Minnesota. That's why he's getting the points, and he's getting more assists than any of his goals. And it's usually he should be the other way around.
All right. Yep.
I don't know. He's very soft. He has no defensive ability. I don't know.
All right.
I just don't know there.
Okay, so, well, whatever. The Bruins are a playoff team. I think they still will beat Toronto.
I'm not worried at all.
I do.
Yeah.
I think they have a better than 40% chance of beating Tampa in the second round.
Yeah.
Because Tampa Bay is very good on the power play. They're lethal. You don't want to take a penalty against them. But, as we've seen time again and again, the refs swallow their whistles in the playoffs. And Boston is a physical team, so I think they'll have the advantage there. And what's Boston's record against Tampa this year? That last game doesn't count because nobody actually, dressed anybody.
Yeah, they played them well. They played them really well. They've all been pretty close games. I think Boston, they had one that they were up and lost in the third. They were up 4-2 and ended up losing 5-4. And then they had the game before that. Boston thumped them 4-1.
Okay.
And then they had one early in the year. I don't remember.
Yeah, that last one doesn't count. The one couple of days ago doesn't count.
No, that was not aside from those ones.
All right, so I still think Boston is the underdog in that series, but they have a better than the 40% chance of winning that series because the playoffs are a different beast. They've always been that way.
Yeah.
All right, so Wolf. Do you think Vegas will move any of those guys like he's been pimping for the last half year?
He better move Colin Wilson. No, that's Ottawa.
Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't have room to retain any salary. So I don't know. I don't think he will. Who's on the big board?
Oh, is any action on Giordano?
Nothing. I've heard nothing on him.
Okay.
It's like Lewis went to sleep.
I think the value of that asset is hard to move at the deadline.
There is some new blocks posted here.
Okay.
So Vancouver isn't done, but he's just trying to move out Oduya.
Okay.
Vegas has posted another block 2 minutes ago.
Let's see if he's. Is it the same guys?
Nielsen, Soderberg, Holden, Bodker, and then Gallagher is on there. So we'll see.
I think the best guy that could be had from that team for a reasonable price is Brock Nelson. He's got 25 goals this year. He's a big body. He's only got 2 years left. There might be more room for retention, and he's a very good player. So I think if I needed forward, I would look for Brock Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Minnie? Yeah. What's going on with Minnesota? They've won 10 straight. The Sim, of course, is the Sim does Sim things, but he's won 10 straight, eh?
That's I think that's hurt his plan. I think because he had a block posted maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
And those are some massive pieces to hold on to through free agency. It's going to hurt his franchise.
Is he even on? Like, I haven't heard from him for a couple of days. Well, actually, for a long time. Actually, I messaged him a couple of days ago. Didn't get anything back.
He is around. He just keeps to himself, pretty quiet.
And his goaltender's suspended too, eh? But I don't think it matters.
Yeah. No. Yeah, give me a quick sec here. I got to take a quick call. You can discuss something there. Give me a quick sec.
Actually, I'm gonna go. So it's good talking to you. I actually need to get some sleep. All right, see ya. Bye.
Okay, fine. What's that? Yeah. 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 I'm just gonna bring my laptop. Okay. Yeah, I'll maybe snag some too then. Print them. All right. Yeah. Yep. No, I hear you. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, bye. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Regarding my pool again. Yeah, so thanks a lot for coming on there, Will. That was good talking to you. You had a lot happen while you were here, which was good. Yeah, we were discussing those Vegas contracts. Yeah, they are tough. I know players are of interest to people, but those contracts are tough. So Tom's saying he'd be interested in those Vegas guys, but with those contracts, it makes it awful hard. If I go online here, I should look at the VHL on the computer, leaving the phone up for other things here. So let's do a quick recap maybe. We've had 5 deals today. We've got 6 guys on right now. I saw as many as 11 at one point. That was pretty good. It helped having somebody else on to discuss some of it with. But the 5 deals we've had, the first deal of the day ended up coming from myself in San Jose, where I landed Corey Perry and Tanner Pearson in exchange for Jakob Silfverberg. San Jose they then flipped a second Nicholas Kronwall to Winnipeg for a second-round pick. Arizona and Montreal got together for a deal where Alexi Emelin goes from Montreal to Arizona, and Brock McGinn is the return there. Arizona lands Ryan Spooner for a third-round pick from Calgary, or vice versa. Calgary gets the third-round pick. Edmonton and Carolina got together for a big trade. Carolina lands Henrik Sedin at half his salary. Ryan Hartman and Derek Englund. Really shores up his team for the playoff run. Edmonton took a chance on Victor Rask and added some younger guys, and Dennis Malgin, David Kampf, and Ryan Kuffner. So that's our deals we've got landed and finished so far. Looking through the board one more time, we got I've taken Panarin and Kopitar off. I don't think they're going to move. Giordano, he's still in play. Somebody can go and get him. That's a solid number 1D with contract cost control there. Brendan Gallagher out of Vegas. He may have trouble moving those other guys, but Gallagher could go. St. Louis moving Ben Bishop. One of these younger teams, I think, would put enough assets together to land a Bishop. Gives you 2 more years after this one for a number 1 goaltender. Wayne Simmons, I'm taking off the board. Keith Yandel. He gives you cost certainty for next year with a fantastic NHL season. He's going to re-rate really well. Offensive defenseman that a lot of teams could use. That puck-moving guy that can score points. So I still think he's a target. We've got Corey Perry. He's done off the list. Ryan Kessler. Minnesota's not looking to do anything right now. Henrik Sedin. He's now gone. He's off the list. He's off the board. He's in Carolina.
Tanner Pearson was landed in Buffalo. Tyler Johnson still available from Montreal. Alec Martinez out of Philadelphia. That deal needs to get done. Somebody step up and get that guy picked. Joe Thornton. No, sorry, I skipped Charlie Coyle. That's not going to happen off-season move. Joe Thornton's unlikely. Jordan Eberle, unlikely out of Ottawa. Nicholas Kronwall, he's now gone out of Winnipeg. David Perron out of Anaheim. What are you doing, Dustin? Let's get going here. We are down to 1 hour, 46 minutes. Andrew Cogliano out of Edmonton. Could still happen. That's a good contract to move, and you'd get a good return. He's not going to be a piece for you moving forward, Lewis. Get it done. Colin Wilson, Ottawa. Get your price down. Get that guy gone. Lars Eller, San Jose. That's an easy one for somebody to grab. Anything. You'd probably take him. He's a UFA at 1.5 mil. Why not? Add to that depth. Zach Bogosian, sorry. Out of Ottawa. Good depth defenseman at 3 mil for 1 year. Get that one done. Chris Russell out of Anaheim. He's another one that should go. A little higher salary, but eat some, Dustin, and get that guy moved. Matt Martin out of Philly. You can eat some of that and get him gone. Joel Ward, Keith Kincaid, and now Spooner. Spooner's gone. So we're getting some deals happening off the board. If I look at my most likely list, Sedin at number 1 is gone. Spooner at 3 is gone. Perry at 5 is gone. Pearson 11 gone. And let's see. I guess that's it off that list. We had some additional guys I wasn't expecting. Hartman and England weren't expected to be moved. They were. Brock McGinn wasn't expected to be moved and was. I should have had Kronwall on this list. I don't know why I hadn't put him. I think maybe it was just the doubt whether or not Joe was going to get some deals going here. Back onto the board. That's too slow. I hate this laptop. DHL. Anything more here? No new blocks posted. There are guys here watching here, so there's interest. Given I haven't had a break here, I'm going to maybe give us, what do we got? 12:17. I'm going to take a half hour, I think. I'll come in about 1:45, 1 o'clock, somewhere in that range, and close out the last hour. I got a couple things I got to run around this house and get done quickly, and we'll come back, check the board. I'll check the messages and see what we can get going here. Yeah, keep working on it then, Tom. Message me if you get something done. If anybody gets something done, send a message. I'll come right back on and announce them. So, said there are deals being done. I should post on the board that there have been a number of them done. That way we just remind people that it's going. We got an hour, 43 minutes to go. Alright, yeah, so I'm going to shut down here for a half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. Get a bite to eat and get what I need done for this stupid draft tonight. Okay, talk to you guys soon.